Welcome back to the channel, USA Coins 69, meter or buy a cup of coffee, when your eyes land on a small silver-colored coin. It's just a dime. 10 cents. Nothing special, or so you think. But what if I told you that a dime from 1989, with a certain mint mark and in the right condition, could be worth a life-changing amount of money? That's exactly what we're exploring today, the story, history, and incredible value of the United States of America Roosevelt One Dime from 1989. The Roosevelt Dime has been a staple in American pockets since 1946, designed to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a leader who guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. The obverse of the coin features a detailed portrait of Roosevelt facing left, while the reverse shows a torch flanked by olive and oak branches, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. It's a small coin with a big message, and over the decades, it's become one of the most familiar pieces of U.S. currency. By the year 1989, the Roosevelt dime had been produced for more than 40 years, but like every coin series, there are certain years and mint marks that catch the attention of collectors. The mint mark, a small letter found just above the date on the coin, tells you where it was made. Dimes from the Philadelphia Mint typically have no mint mark, while those from Denver bear a D, and those from San Francisco, often proofs, have an S. Now, here's where things get interesting. Not every dime from 1989 is worth more than face value, but specific examples with errors, rare strike types, or proof characteristics can be worth thousands. For instance, there have been dimes found from 1989 with misaligned dies, off-center strikes, or dramatic doubling in the lettering and numbers. These minting mistakes make them one of a kind, and collectors will pay top dollar for coins that stand out from the millions of ordinary ones produced. Condition plays a massive role in value. A 1989 Roosevelt dime that has been circulated, meaning it's passed through countless hands over decades, will typically show signs of wear. But a coin kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, with no scratches, discoloration, or damage, can be worth dramatically more. And when you add a rare error or unique mint mark to that perfect condition, you get a coin that becomes the crown jewel of a collection. Think about the journey of a coin like this. It might have been minted in Denver or Philadelphia, entered circulation, traveled across the country, and then quietly sat unnoticed in someone's pocket change for years. Then one day, an eagle-eyed collector spots something unusual about it, has it authenticated, and suddenly realizes its extraordinary rarity and value. Collectors often search through rolls of dimes from banks, old coin jars, and estate sales, hoping to find that hidden gem. That's the thrill of numismatics. You never know when a rare treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Today, we're going to explore one such coin from the United States that has captured the attention of collectors, the 1991 Roosevelt One Dime with mint marks. At first, it may look like just another 10-cent piece from your pocket change, but as you're about to discover, some of these coins are anything but ordinary. The Roosevelt dime has a rich history that began in 1946, honoring Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt was not only a guiding force during the Great Depression and World War II, but also a passionate supporter of public health initiatives. His leadership and advocacy for the March of Dimes campaign against polio made the dime a fitting tribute to his legacy. Even decades after its introduction, the coin continues to carry both symbolic and historical weight. By the year 1991, the Roosevelt dime had become an everyday part of American life. Millions were minted that year across 3 different facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P mint mark, the Denver Mint, marked with a D, and the San Francisco Mint, which produced proof coins marked with an S. Each mint played a role in the coin's production, but not every dime struck that year holds the same value today. Let's take a moment to appreciate the design. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt. Above his head sits the word liberty, and to the left, the national motto, "In God We Trust." The year 1991 is engraved to the right, along with the mint mark that reveals its origin. On the reverse side is the timeless design featuring 3 symbols: an olive branch for peace, a torch for liberty, and an oak branch for strength. Surrounding these elements are the inscriptions, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and One Dime. This combination of design elements not only gives the dime its recognizable look but also its enduring significance. Now, while most 1991 Roosevelt dimes are worth just their face value, certain examples stand out due to their condition, rarity, or minting errors. Collectors seek coins in the highest grades, those that have never been in circulation, with their original luster, sharp details, and no visible wear. These are known as uncirculated or mint-state coins. Over time, such coins become harder to find because most were used in daily transactions, collecting scratches, dings, and discoloration along the way, but condition isn't the only factor that can make a 1991 Roosevelt dime valuable. Minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center images, die cracks, or missing elements, are like hidden treasures. These errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin's production process, and they can create unique, one-of-a-kind pieces that collectors love to own. Even minor variations in the design or the way the metal was struck can send the value of a coin soaring. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are another area of interest. These coins are made with a special process that gives them an almost mirror-like shine and extremely sharp details. While most proof coins are kept in protective cases and remain in excellent condition, rare examples with unusual features or perfect, PR 70 grades can be highly desirable to collectors. What makes coins like the 1991 Roosevelt dime exciting is that they could be hiding in plain sight. You might find one in an old coin jar, a forgotten collection, or even tucked inside a roll of dimes from the bank. It's the thrill of discovery that keeps coin enthusiasts searching, because you never know when an everyday coin will turn out to be something truly extraordinary, and here's the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to own a 1991 Roosevelt One Dime with the perfect combination of uncirculated condition, rare minting error, and the right mint mark, it could be worth as much as $41,000. So, the next time you come across a Roosevelt dime from 1991, don't let it slip through your fingers without taking a closer look. It might just be your ticket to a small fortune. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1980 Roosevelt One Dime with mint marks, a small 10-cent coin from the United States that, in some rare cases, can be worth an unbelievable amount of money. The Roosevelt dime is more than just a piece of change. Introduced in 1946, it was created to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the nation's 32nd president. Roosevelt wasn't just a political leader, he was a symbol of determination and hope during some of the most challenging years in American history. His role in guiding the country through the Great Depression and World War II was monumental. Even more personal was his fight against polio and his support for the March of Dimes campaign, which made placing his portrait on the dime a fitting tribute. Fast forward to 1980, a year of change in American culture, economy, and even coinage. This was a time when inflation was a national concern, interest rates were high, and people were paying closer attention to their money than ever before. Millions of Roosevelt dimes were minted that year at 3 U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, marked with a P, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S for proof coins. Each mint contributed to the overall supply, but the story behind the value of certain 1,980 dimes lies in the details. Let's take a closer look at the design that makes the Roosevelt dime iconic. On the obverse side, you'll see the left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, surrounded by the word Liberty and the national motto, "In God We Trust." The year 1980 is placed just below, and right next to it is the mint mark indicating where the coin was struck. On the reverse, you'll find a powerful trio of symbols: an olive branch for peace, a torch for liberty, and an oak branch for strength, each telling its own part of America's story. Around the edge, you'll see the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and the denomination 1 dime. Now, most people in 1980 would never imagine that this ordinary dime could someday become a valuable collector's item. But that's the magic of numismatics, the study and collecting of coins. While the majority of 1980 dimes remain worth just 10 cents, certain ones, because of their rarity, condition, or errors, have skyrocketed in value over the years. Condition is one of the biggest factors. A dime that has never been in circulation, known as an uncirculated or mint state coin, retains its original shine, crisp details, and flawless surfaces. These are rare to find today because most coins went straight into people's pockets, where they were used, scratched, and worn down. A high-grade example from 1980 can already be worth far more than face value, but there's another element that excites collectors even more: minting errors. These mistakes happen during the production process and can result in fascinating variations. Some examples include off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, and even coins struck on the wrong metal planchets. These errors are rare by nature, making them highly sought after. The more unusual and dramatic the error, the higher the potential value. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are also notable. Made with a special striking process that creates sharp details and a mirror-like surface, these coins are intended for collectors. A 1980 proof dime in perfect condition can command a premium, especially if it carries a flawless, PR-70 grade from professional grading services. What makes the 1980 Roosevelt Dime so exciting is that these treasures can be hiding in plain sight. You might find one in a forgotten coin jar, tucked in an inherited collection, or even in a roll of dimes from the bank. That's why collectors and casual hobbyists alike keep a sharp eye out, because sometimes, a small coin can hold a big secret. And now, here's the part you've been waiting for. If you happen to have a 1980 Roosevelt One Dime in exceptional, uncirculated condition, combined with a rare and significant minting error, it could be worth as much as $46,000. So before you spend that dime without a second thought, take a moment to examine it closely. You never know, you might just be holding a hidden fortune in the palm of your hand. Today, we're going to dive deep into the fascinating world of the 1977 Roosevelt One Dime, a coin that many people have handled without realizing its potential to be worth far more than 10 cents. The Roosevelt Dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt wasn't just a political leader, he was a man who inspired hope during the darkest days of the Great Depression and guided America through World War II. His personal battle with polio and his tireless support for the March of Dimes campaign made it fitting for his portrait to appear on the dime. Over the decades, this coin has become an enduring symbol of resilience, leadership, and public service. By 1977, the Roosevelt Dime had already been in circulation for more than 30 years. The country itself was going through a unique period, recovering from the economic challenges of the 1970s, facing high inflation, and adjusting to a rapidly changing society. In that year, dimes were struck at 3 United States Mint facilities: Philadelphia, identified with a P mint mark, Denver, with a D mint mark, and San Francisco, with an S for proof coins. Each of these mints contributed to the production of millions of dimes, but not every coin produced that year would end up being the same in the eyes of collectors. The design of the 1977 dime remains the classic Roosevelt style. On the obverse, you'll see the left-facing portrait of Roosevelt, with the word Liberty above, In God We Trust to the left, and the year 1977 to the right. Just next to the date is the mint mark, a small but important detail that can play a big role in determining a coin's value. On the reverse, the imagery tells a story: an olive branch for peace, a torch for liberty, and an oak branch for strength. Surrounding these symbols are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and One Dime. Most of the 1977 Roosevelt dimes were used in everyday transactions, passed from hand to hand, worn down over the years, and eventually forgotten in drawers or jars. But some coins survived in exceptional condition. These are the ones that collectors treasure, coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition with sharp details, brilliant luster, and absolutely no signs of wear. Then there are the rare and fascinating error coins. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the striking process. Maybe the coin is struck off-center, the die doubles an image, or a different metal planchet is used by mistake. These errors create unique coins that stand out from the millions of standard issues. Collectors love them because no two are exactly the same, and their rarity can send prices soaring. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint also hold special appeal. These coins are struck multiple times with polished dies, giving them a mirror-like finish and extraordinary detail. They are made primarily for collectors and are usually kept in protective cases, which is why they are often found in perfect condition decades later. A 1977 proof dime with a flawless PR 70 grade can be highly sought after. The thrill for collectors is that these treasures can be hiding anywhere. That jar of coins you've ignored for years might contain something extraordinary. A roll of dimes from the bank could hold a hidden gem. Even a handful of change from the store could include a rare find, because once a coin leaves the mint, there's no telling where it might end up. And now we reach the most exciting part of today's story. If you happen to own a 1977 Roosevelt One Dime in outstanding, uncirculated condition, especially one with a rare and dramatic minting error, you could be holding a coin worth as much as $50,000. So, before you spend your next dime without a second thought, take a close look. What seems like ordinary change could actually be a life-changing discovery. Today, we're going to talk about one of those surprises, a coin so ordinary in appearance that most people wouldn't think twice about spending it, yet in the right circumstances, it could be worth an astonishing amount of money. I'm talking about the 1985 Roosevelt One Dime with mint marks, and the story behind it is one you won't want to miss. The Roosevelt dime has been an important part of American coinage since 1946, created to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He was not only the leader who guided the nation through the Great Depression and the Second World War, but he was also deeply involved in public health efforts, particularly the fight against polio. His strong association with the March of Dimes campaign made placing his portrait on the 10-cent coin a meaningful tribute. Over the years, the design has become one of the most familiar pieces of U.S. currency. By 1985, the Roosevelt dime had already been in circulation for nearly 4 decades. That year, coins were minted in 3 major facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a P, the Denver Mint, marked with a D, and the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S for proof coins. Each mint struck millions of dimes, and for most people, these coins were just part of everyday life, used for coffee, pay phones, parking meters, and countless small purchases. But while millions were made, not all 1985 dimes are equal in the eyes of collectors. The design, while simple, is rich with symbolism. On the obverse side, you'll find Roosevelt's left-facing portrait, the word Liberty arching above, the motto, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the year, 1985, along with the mint mark to the right. Flip the coin over and you'll see the reverse design, a torch in the center symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace on one side and an oak branch for strength on the other. Around the edge are the inscriptions, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and One Dime. What really sets certain 1985 Roosevelt dimes apart is their condition and uniqueness. Coins in perfect, uncirculated condition, those that have never been used in transactions and retain all their original detail and luster, are highly sought after. Decades later, finding such a coin is a challenge, because most have been worn down by daily use. These untouched examples often survive only in mint sets or private collections. Then there's the exciting world of mint errors. Errors can occur for a variety of reasons: misaligned dies, double strikes, planchets of the wrong size or metal, or other mechanical mishaps at the mint. While the U.S. Mint takes great care to maintain quality, mistakes do happen, and when they do, the results can be fascinating. Error coins are essentially one of a kind, which means they can attract fierce competition among collectors. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint deserve special mention. Unlike regular circulation coins, proof dimes are made with polished dies and are struck multiple times to produce mirror-like surfaces and incredibly sharp details. A flawless proof dime from 1985, especially one graded PR 70 by a professional grading service, can be worth significantly more than a regular coin. Add a rare variation or error to the mix, and the value can rise even higher. The beauty of coin collecting is that these treasures can appear anywhere. Maybe you'll find one in a family collection that's been tucked away for decades. Maybe it will be hiding in a roll of dimes from your bank. Or maybe, just maybe, it will be sitting in the change you get from a store. That element of surprise is part of what keeps the hobby so exciting, because the next great discovery could happen at any moment. And now for the part you've been waiting for. If you own a 1985 Roosevelt One Dime in pristine, uncirculated condition, combined with a rare and dramatic minting error, you could be looking at a coin worth as much as $55,000. So the next time you come across a 1985 dime, don't dismiss it as ordinary pocket change. Take a moment, look closely, and you might just uncover a fortune hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's hidden treasures, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another fascinating story from the world of coins. Until then, happy collecting, and may your next find be the one that changes everything. If you want, I can also create a highly clickable YouTube title, SEO-rich description, and thumbnail text for this 1985 dime script so you can post it immediately and maximize clicks. Do you want me to make that next?